Are we outside? Okay, we're live. Welcome to today's episode of the Afrobeats News Updates. As always, it's your boy Chief of Lagos on this one. We're outside. Today is a very, very special show, as you guys can already see. You can see my setup is looking on fleek. On fleek. Let me give a the marker for that one. On fleek. Today's episode is being produced by Lami Logan Productions. We're outside in Lami Logan Studios. I can't disclose the location, unfortunately. We're out here in London town, Lami Logan Studios. And yeah, man, I'm excited. We're going to talk about Burna today. We're going to talk about Tems today. We're going to talk about all things Afrobeats. And yeah, it's exciting. We're going to touch on briefly the Lagos governorship elections. We're going to talk about Victor Osimhen's scoring prowess happening right now. And then there's a conversation around Afrobeats producing a lot of template songs lately. So we're going to address that too. Put something in the chat if you guys can see this, if you guys can hear me correctly. Is my audio fine? Is my video fine? Or put something in the comments for those of you that are going to be watching this later. Well, yeah, man, we're outside. Hope everyone had a productive week. Hope you guys excelled in everything you guys are doing. I know you guys that watch my content come from different walks of life and from different situations. For those of you in Lagos, yesterday was the elections, governorship elections, and governorship elections in other places. So it was a tough times as usual at Nigerian elections. But I hope you're safe. I hope you're able to cast your votes. I hope everything went correctly. Apart from that, sending my love to those in Lagos, sending my love to those in other areas that were affected by the senseless violence that keeps happening during our elections. But yeah, man, Lami is in the building. Shout out to Lami. Again, I'm gonna give another Don Marco. Again, yeah, man. What else do I want to say before I get into the flow of things? I mean, if it comes to me, I'll remember. But yeah, man, shout out to everyone watching this. What should we talk about first? Should we start light or should we start heavy today? Because Burna was in a bit of trouble. He brought out the activist side of him again today. Well, not today, but last week. I can see there are 3 people in the chat currently. Put something in the chat so I can see who you are, so we can interact, so we can get started, you know. 4 people already. Let me know now. No ghost watchers this year. Don't just watch me. Comment, be part of the conversation so that we can go back and forth and make this shit more fun, you know. Well, yeah, shout out to everyone in the club. Shout out to all of you that tuned in early. So, let's start heavy. Let's start with the Burna Boy situation. I don't know if you guys saw the video of Burna on Chaka Bars. If you guys know Chaka Bars, he's very active in Africa, in the Congo. He does a lot of refugee work. I don't know how to describe this thing. Is it charity? Is that charity they call them? Outreach. Like projects in the Congo, and if you guys know that area very well, there's a lot of disaster that happens there, a lot of war that happens there, and he does very well in that region in terms of building projects, building schools, helping the community. So he linked up with Burna Boy, and he gave like a brief interview session. Let me just see if I can pull that out. Yeah, I have that. So he did I'm sure you guys can see Victor Osimhen right there. I'm going to talk about him later. But he did like an interview, which I'm going to play for you now. So just listen to this.
Okay, let's use America for example, right? Because we can use anywhere. Yeah. But let's just use America, right? Why do you think the Chinese American, has their respect, and they don't go through the things that African Americans go through?
You good?
No, even though they might go through their struggles, I'm not taking anything away from them, but they don't go through what the African American goes through. You know why? Because the Chinese American has a base. He actually knows where he's from in China.
Right. And they have support from the Chinese government.
You understand?
Yeah.
Like the Italian American,
They have Italy.
they know where their grandparents came from in Italy before.
Facts.
They know the first person in their
Facts.
family to come to America to start
Facts.
the business that made them Italian.
Facts.
They know. You understand what I'm saying? And same goes for everyone else except the African American. You understand what I'm saying to you? So how can an African American and an Italian American
How are we looking on YouTube?
be
Good.
on the same
How are we looking on YouTube? Good.
bill when the how do I put this in a nice politically correct way? When
Okay, basically, if you look at what Burna was saying there, it was basically saying that the Chinese American knows where they are from, the Italian American knows where they are from, but the African American, why am I saying American instead of American? The African American is the only one that doesn't know where they are from. So basically, like I was saying about Chakabas, it's very big in the community, in the African community, in terms of like being on ground and doing projects on ground. And he's a big advocate of tracing your lineage, even though you're an American, you're a British citizen. He's a big fan of tracing your lineage back to Africa in terms of you knowing where you are from as an African. So so Burna was basically re-emphasizing the point that if you an African American, it's not just that okay, once upon a time we came from Africa once in a while, some time ago we came from Africa, but you need to go that extra step of like knowing what particular country you came from, what particular tribe you're part of, and how you can build that gap to connect yourself with your African community. That's basically what Burna Boy was trying to say. But then, people started dragging him.
Bombastic side eye. Criminal offensive side eye.
People started dragging my guy, and there was really like nothing he could like, because African Americans, if you know African Americans very well, I'll need the full screen on this one. If you know African Americans very well, they are very, very not all of them, but a lot of them are very, very touchy about their connection with Africa. You would even find some African Americans that are like, I'm not African, I'm African American, or don't call me an African, or I'm not from Africa, I'm from America, that kind of thing. So there's that, I won't call it identity crisis, I'll call it more like wanting to be more American than African. And it only applies to African Americans, which is part of the point Burna was trying to say. Like, the Italian, even though they call themselves American, the Italian American, even though they call themselves American, they are still proud of their Italian heritage and can trace it. They can trace it to when their first grandfather or great grandfather came to America. They all have the history of that, you get. And then the cultures that these people have in their homes identify strongly with where they come from. But this was all Burna was trying to say. But then African Americans were not too happy with this. So Burna responded on his IG story with this screen share. He said, "It's sad to see that in 2023 there are still such black people who would prefer we stay divided and conquered. Maybe it's my accent or something, but I never said you are African and not American. I also did not say Africa is part of heaven. You deserve all the land and reparations you want from America, and I'm 100% in support of that. All I've ever done is try to make you understand that you have Africa too, that loves you, and I believe coming together as brothers and sisters is the only way forward for us black people worldwide. You work against the progress of our people worldwide if your goal is to keep us divided." Simple, straightforward message. And I don't know if you guys can tell, his tone is a bit different from when he's doing his Nigerian activism. Like you can see with African Americans, more like, guys. All I said was, with Nigerians, they're like, someone tweeted, just look at the difference in tone. But if it's Nigerians, we'll be talking like we're the ones owing him money. Let me go to the quotes because they are funny as hell. People are really dragging him. Burna Boy is the Dio Israel of the music industry. A pretentious, low-life jobber. African giant, my soft black ass. Man, people are angry on Twitter. So basically, this was it. And I think Burna is valid on this one. Even though I don't support Burna on all issues, but on this particular case, what he said is something I fully agree with, and it's even something I'm in the UK here trying to foster. Like, it's really important for African Americans to not lose their African side of the African American equation. It's really important for African UK citizens too, similarly, to not lose that link you have with Africa. Like you can't say, oh Niger, I'm Niger, and then you've never been to Nigeria, you've never been to Lagos, or you don't know where your people came from in Lagos and things like that. So on this one, I fully support Burna Boy. On a lighter note though, speaking of Burna Boy, he was just appointed to perform for the UEFA Cup final, which is crazy, which is really, really crazy. Like, UEFA is literally one of the most watched competitions in the world, was one of the most watched TV shows in the world. So it is actually crazy that at this point, Afrobeats is at that like stage. Like, and if you look at the current like events that have been happening, Davido was the World Cup song, performed at World Cup finals. Rema, Burna, and Tems performed at NBA finals, or NBA All-Star game halftime, which is basically like their version of, which is basically basketball's version of Super Bowl halftime. And then now Burna is performing at UEFA finals. It just shows that Afrobeat is the hottest sound right now. So it's crazy. It's crazy to think that just in a matter of a few years, we are like here. Like, I was still talking with my friend the other day on, like, he grew up in the UK, and I was still telling him of how, like, growing up in the UK, you literally had to sneak to listen to Afrobeats. You had to hide to listen to Afrobeats. Like, you'll be shamed for listening to Afrobeat songs, and now we're performing at all these shows. So it's crazy, man. So Burna Boy is keeping the flag flying as a Afrobeat ambassador. So yeah, that's a good segue now into what happened with Tems at the Oscars. Speaking of Afrobeats going international, Tems really put the T in international. Put the block in blocks. So, bro, I don't know, did you guys see Tems dress at the Oscars? Let me know in the chat if you guys saw Tems dress at the Oscars. It was crazy because it got like I won't say mixed reactions, because a lot of the reaction from the international audience was negative in terms of the word people used around. The word people were throwing around was rude, which I don't get. Like, rude is like, okay, you spoke to me rudely, or like I think rude is supposed to be for like a particular behavior, not the fact that you wore a dress. So maybe inconsiderate, insensitive, those are the words like might better fit, if you want to be on the criticism side, might better fit the scenario. But rude is a stretch. It's kind of condescending. So I don't think, okay, because we're Africans or Nigerians, we're supposed to be like, oh, thank you for bringing me to the Oscars. Oh, Halawenya. My people, we're glad to be here at the Oscars. Is that how they expect us to behave? I don't get it. Like, so the whole rude accusation is just out of place. But let me show you guys the dress so that you guys can have a view of it, and let me know what you guys think. I'm sure all of you have seen the dress now. It was trending. But yeah, man, look at Tems, looking beautiful as always, looking sexy, looking dazzling. She killed it. The dress was beautiful. The dress was beautiful. That one I would agree. But I understand the part of the outrage. I understand, like, that dress is a bit tall. I'm not gonna lie. And Tems is already a tall babe. Let me smile when I saw tall babe, because that's his spec. But Tems is already a tall babe, and you put on this tall dress, so inevitably you're going to block people. So I believe that was a bit inconsiderate of her. But I don't think she thought about it that far ahead. I'm sure she just looked at the dress, saw that was a nice dress, white color, stand out, being nominated for an Oscar, which is a big deal. Like, without Tems is yet to drop an album. Like, she has not dropped her debut album yet, and she's already been nominated for a Grammy. She's already won other international awards, already won her local awards too, without a debut album. So it is insane, the level she's going. So I get the fact that she wanted to make a statement, but obviously her team didn't think far ahead that she would block people. What could have been, because it's just so beautiful, what could have been a makeshift solution is if maybe she brought a change of clothes, which they all do for the Oscars after party, but and which was wearing, if you guys can see in this video with DJ Spino. DJ Spino was also the DJ at the official Oscars Vanity Fair party, which is crazy. Like when we're talking about Afrobeats being big, we're not talking about just the musicians. Like everybody's eating now. The promoters, you see Afro Nation, biggest one of the biggest festivals in the world. You see our DJ Spino now, arguably the biggest Afrobeats DJ right now, and like DJing at the Oscars after party, crazy, unbelievable, man. Like, wait, I don't the market for Afrobeats, but like it's just crazy, and you can see the dress she's wearing here is different. It's a change of clothes, obviously. So could she have changed during the Oscars to allow people to see her better? Maybe she could have, you know. So, but one thing though is that the outrage is selective outrage. Shout out to Chris Rock. It was dope special. But the outrage is selective from the point of view, like, and someone was pointing it out to me earlier. Cardi B has worn high top dresses like that. That is giving me some nice close up. Let me show you guys proper. It a tear my head. Oh, back up. It freaked me all kind. But yeah, like I'm sure you guys saw the Cardi B dress that she wore, like, was it a year or 2 years ago? And high top too. And I've seen other people wearing dresses that look like that in terms of having that gele feel. And I've never seen this level of outrage before. I've never seen this vitriol. Like, even literally, I don't know if you guys know Stephen A. Smith. He's a sports analyst, one of the biggest basketball, NFL talk show heads. On his podcast, he was talking about the Tems dress. And I was like, let me see if I can find that video. Let me actually see if I can. Stephen A. Tems.
That's how that singer-songwriter Tems, T-E-M-S is how they pronounce the name. Made a bold fashion statement at the 95th Academy Awards, the Oscars in Hollywood last Sunday. Saw that cloud-like dress she had on? I suppose it was nice.
It was a nice dress.
How rude! How rude! I mean, it just blocked everything behind her. I mean, she didn't want nobody else to watch the Oscars. You know how rude you gotta be to roll up in the Oscars and sit down with that dress knowing that there were people behind you. You blocking about 20 different people from seeing the daggone Oscars. You know how rude you have to be? Just no regard. None. That singer-songwriter Tems, T-E-M-S is how this went.
Stephen A. went at Tems. Say how rude you have to be. But I mean, she needs to make a statement, man. Like, I fuck with it, and at the end of the day, I actually like the way Tems handled it. She had a post after something like let me see if I can put it up. But she was very, very unapologetic about it, which was dope, because at the end of the day, if she came out, okay, she said, oops. She said, oops. Well, it was dazzling. I don't know if you guys can see. Beautiful, man. Fucking beautiful. Tems is stunning. But yeah, she was like, oops, she owned it. No apologies, no take backs, no regrets. And I like that, because at the end of the day, all publicity is good publicity, fam. Like, fine. Some people will complain here and there. But I'm sure a lot of people that didn't know Tems before now know her because of the outrage, and now probably go and check out her songs. So what even brought her to the Oscars? What even brought this Nigerian queen, this woman king? What even brought this woman king to the Oscars? So yeah, man, at the end of the day, I like the way she handled it, and fam, put some respect on Tems' name, man. But this is a segue to a broader conversation I want to have, and this is serious. So I need a close up. Just bring it a bit closer. That's okay. And this brings into recognition the broader conversation we need to have about what tables are Afrobeats shaking. This sudden rise of Afrobeats is everyone really happy about it? Is everyone really happy about it? Is it really Afrobeats to the world like we think? You know? Like, and I want to show you guys something, but I'll show you guys after. But what we need to recognize as a genre and as a movement is that the more songs, Afrobeat songs, that come on the radios, on the international radio, the less hip-hop songs we're going to have on the radio. The less pop songs we're going to have on the radio. The less R&B songs we're going to have on the radio. And these are already heavily competitive spaces. Do you think all the players in these spaces are happy about that? And that's what I really want to address. And I think that is where a lot of the rage, a lot of the vitriol, a lot of the anger, a lot of the "she's so rude" is coming from. I think it's coming from the fact that not everyone is happy about this sudden rise of Afrobeats, about Afrobeats being the most requested music right now, about Afrobeats parties being the most popping right now, about Afro Nation being the most popping festival right now. Shout out to my black queens. So that's something we need to be careful of as a movement. And yeah, I'm gonna show you what happened with the Wizkid and Soulja Boy rolling out. Lami, you can back up a bit. Yeah, I'm gonna show you. Shout out to my producer, man. Easy to get producer. If it's easy, go do them. So yeah, let me just show you guys the Rolling Loud thing quickly. So this was a tweet from Soulja Boy that he later deleted. He said, "It's stamped. I'm done tweeting. We're gonna kill that nigga." Now he put Rolling Loud. He said, "Take me off that Germany show at Rolling Loud." That is crazy. I don't know if you guys got the first part, but he said, "It's stamped. I'm done tweeting. We gonna kill that nigga." I'm not American, so just mind my accent there. We gonna kill that nigga. Devil emoji, 100 emoji. And I'm like, sure? Did it reach that level that, wow, like death has entered the chat? I look at this tweet and I know a lot of us might, say it's Soulja Boy. It's just him, or Soulja Boy has issues. But I'm sure it's not the only hip-hop artist feeling this way. Like, especially with the fact that a lot of African Americans, I'm just going to be blunt here, look down on Africans. Like, a lot of African Americans, a lot of people that grow up abroad. And I mean, it's partly not their fault, it's partly a lot of indoctrination of when they see African movies, they see swinging from the jungle. They see niggas in like leaf. Bomba card! They don't believe that like Africans like actually have civilizations and stuff. So a lot of it is programming, but a lot of it too is just like, at the end of the day, discuss with Africans around you, and you yourself are African. So it shouldn't be adversarial. It should kind of be like collaborative point of view we should approach each other from. Yeah, but I'm sure Soulja Boy is not the only one feeling the way he expressed in that tweet. And obviously Wizkid is gonna be fine. I've been in events with Wizkid security. That man, he moves heavy. He's not worried about some Soulja Boy threats. But it just brings on the wider conversation in terms of who are we offending with our rise and who do we need to be careful of. Not every skin folk is skin folk, unfortunately. So it's what we need to be careful of with this rise of Afrobeats. But yeah, I wanted to touch on that briefly. Yeah, man, shout out to Tems. Unfortunately, she didn't win the Oscar, but still, it's a thing of pride, man. Yeah, so I saw a tweet about the state of African music, Nigerian music, recently. And I think it's something I kind of agree with. In terms of, well, let me show you guys the tweet, and then we can debate this together. Tweet was from Twitter user Ade Adeayo, and it was like, sonically, we are in need of a new direction. Every Friday, we get a collection of template songs that are fast becoming tedious. We need someone who can freshen things up and still command huge commercial success. I like that line, because I'm going to talk about that after the tweets, but yeah, I like the fact that I added still commands huge commercial success, because there are a lot of people that are bringing new things up that are not commanding commercial success. I will get to that briefly. For now, things are still, and it's an effect of the COVID rush. Is it just an effect of the COVID rush? Maybe I don't entirely agree with that. I agree with parts of this sentiment. I don't know if it's just me, guys, but lately, the songs that have been coming out in Afrobeats, and this kind of even applies to Amapiano too, to some degree. But I'm not so versed with Amapiano songs, so maybe I might be in over my head on that one. But for Afrobeats especially, like, I don't know if it's just me. A lot of the songs lately, I've just been feeling plug and play-ish. Just for example, the new song with Zino and Adekunle Gold. I like the song, it's a good song, it's good Zino verse, good Adekunle verse. But it was just the same old shit. Like, I think a lot of these artists from COVID, which is maybe what this Twitter user means by the COVID rush, but a lot of these artists from COVID, because it was especially during that COVID period that a lot of Afrobeat songs were going global. But I think a lot of these artists during that time found the formula and I've just decided to stick with it. Like, copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. And not only that, when some artists switch up, like see Ashake for example, he switched up with Yoga, and I think Yoga was a good song, but everyone was like, oh, what is this? Give us our party jams, give us our regular, like, what, we don't like the sound. I saw a lot of that on Twitter and the communities, and various communities, I mean. Like, people didn't really like the song, and it was a different vibe. But I like the song, I like the messaging of the song, I like the storytelling of the song. Shout out to TG Omori. But it was just like, people were just like, nah, give us our regular. And then Ashake came out with a snippet of, I don't know if you guys have seen the snippet. Let me play it for you guys, because the snippet is, I can't get the snippet out of my head. But it came out with this snippet.
Tranquility, I no get time to the form activity. Define stability like a badge, money learning ability. What's the chances, what's the probability to see a better version of me with a
You don't hear this Ashake snippet?
reality, open principality and calamity. What you love, what you piety, baby, no forget it. What she want it, still get money like 50, dripping like Fiji, I believe it. 230 candle, oh yeah, got done,
And that was the snippet. And I liked it. It's, although it's very similar with the Palazzos of the world, with the Organized of the world, but it's a dope sound. And there's still lyrical flow, the beats are still on point as usual, same drawing from Amapiano, log drums. So it was good. But people now started saying, Ashake don't go microwave jam for us. Ashake don't go do copy and paste again. People were dragging Ashake, and I was like, you get. So what do the people actually want is something I'm not entirely sure of. But I do agree that a lot of the sounds coming out lately have been a bit repetitive. A bit in general though. In general. Okay, I'm looking for some of the twists. Well, all the twists I'm seeing now are positive. But I saw a few negative tweets when it came out. I think artists need to explore more. But the problem is when they explore more, you guys don't reward them with streams and listens. Or you guys would listen and complain. Like, look at Wizkid's new album, for example. I like the album a lot. I think it's really good. But it wasn't received well. Like, people were not really fucking with it. And it was a different sound. It was not your regular club bangers. But you guys say you want new shit, you want different shit. But then they'll give you different shit and you'll be like, you're not the guys, you know? Like, you'll be like, who is this? What is this? Oh my god. Chalaki, what is that in your steam? That's what we keep hearing. So, you guys, as consumers, we need to, number one, hold artists to a higher standard. So challenging them to do different things, which is I support. But at the same time, when they now explore and experiment, we need to be kind to them. We need to respect the art form. We need to understand that I mean, you can getting better, but you can't just getting better one time. How did that guy say it? I'm just getting better, but you can't get better one time. You can't achieve perfection. So, and a lot of these artists, they're very sensitive about how people react to their shit. So, I can understand why a lot of them just stay in that lane of finding a formula and then giving it to us back to back. So it's sad that it has come to this, but at the end of the day, I'm really not down for this template music that everybody is releasing now. Like, I'm not, like, I was supposed to do new songs today, react to new songs today, but the ginger is not there because like the songs I react to sounds same types of songs I reacted to last week. Shout out to Zeno and Adekunle for going number 1. Shout out to Gagalada too. That's another hot new single that I'm bopping at the moment. We'll still take a look at the top 10 on Apple Music Nigeria now to see what are the poppy songs. But yeah, man, that was about template songs. Talking about someone that is not going according to the script though. I don't know if you guys, how many of you guys listen to Odumodu Black? I don't know if you guys listen to Odumodu Black. Is one of these artists that have intrigued me of late, and a lot of people have been comparing him to Sheyi Vibes. There's been the whole Sheyi Vibes versus Odumodu Black conversation going on, and people are becoming tribal with it. People are saying Odumodu Black is the Igbo version of Sheyi Vibes. Sheyi Vibes is repping the Yorubas, Odumodu is repping the Igbos, and things like that. There might be some similarities because they are both very good melodically, like melodies wise. They are both very, very good. For rappers, they have very good vocal prowess. So it's impressive from that standpoint. Sheyi Vibes is a bit all over the place with his style though. Like one time it sounded like an Ashake, the next time it sounded like a Zlatan, the next time it sounded like an Olamide. Like Sheyi Vibes, I'm not totally getting the sound. That's some of the songs that I really, really fuck with. The new song with Zlatan, Let There Be Light, epic song, and the way Zlatan floated on that song was amazing. Like, and Zlatan is making a huge push now. Picanto with Odumodu Black, Zlatan's verse there was epic, and Zlatan's new single Omologo, beautiful. I don't know if you guys have heard it. Beautiful song, of which Odumodu Black made a remake. But yeah, I'm really checking out this Odumodu Black guy, and I've been impressed with what I'm hearing so far. Picanto was a nice track. The Doggy Dog song too was nice, and I'm looking forward to his album. I think it's supposed to drop already, or it's dropping this week, because he was promoting it. Declan Rice, Odumodu. Bro is just tweeting about football. 5 days to Declan Rice. This was 12 hours ago. So it's going to be dropping at the end of this week. So I'm looking forward to evaluating that project and seeing the sound. Again though, I'm gonna plug this again. Spino's album, guys. You guys should give it a listen, man. Give it a listen. Like, trust me, you won't regret it. Like, the album is on point. The features, the way it connected everyone. But the song with Van Jess, the song with Olamide and Kemel, is that his name? He's a new artist. Bunda, epic song. The song of Ricardo. Ricardo is always is found in the piano lane and is sticking to it and is killing it. The song with Means, the guy that sang Owo remix with Black Bones and Bujutsu. Fire. So check out Spino's album. I strongly recommend. I think I gave it a 8 or a 7.5 on my last reviews. Shout out to Victor Osimhen though. Speaking of Africans making us proud, Africans doing good in the international space. I mean, this space is not just about music. We're talking about like we're doing Afro, all things Afro, and Osimhen is a shining example of that. I think this year, 15 goals. I think he's only behind Rashford for most goals this year in all competitions. And for Serie A, his team Napoli is on top of the table. First season at Napoli, top of the table, and 20 goals in 23 appearances. Insane. And is quickly becoming a cult hero. Also, Napoli just qualified for the UEFA quarterfinals for the first time, I think either ever or in a long time. which is crazy impressive. So shout out to Victor Osimhen, just got called up for the Nigerian squad. I'm really excited about this current batch of Nigerians. I don't know if you remember Osimhen's set from the under 21. But I remember that they're on. I don't know if it was under 21 or under 18. But they stormed through everybody. They were winning 5-0, 6-0. That was Osimhen's set. I think Chukwueze was also in that set. And Chukwueze is playing very, very well in La Liga right now. So it's really like let me say African excellence. Osimhen is really a shining example of that. And I'm just seeing him in top conversations. Like there was the whole Osimhen versus Haaland debate. Like Haaland, man. Like, have you seen that guy? He looks like a fucking monster. And then they're comparing with our small boy Osimhen. Like, is and I've even seen him in talks for Ballon d'Or, which is crazy. And if Napoli, by some miracle, I don't know how they want to beat the likes of Man City or Madrid. RIP Chelsea, by the way, my team. But I don't know how Napoli can do against those kind of teams. But if they manage to pull off a UEFA, bruh, with Osimhen being the best player on the team, bruh, Lagos gonna go crazy, man. Lagos gonna go crazy.